Hello and welcome to another episode of the Illimitable Experience Podcast. If you're watching this video, like the video. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, subscribe to the channel. And guys, like, share and subscribe the whole channel. यार कुछ like, share and subscribe करने में कोई disadvantage नहीं है. It's free. And today we have as our guest my friend who I've known since my school days, Harjot Singh Juneja. Hello, Paji, how are you?
Good morning, Vietnam. So as I mentioned, I'm a very big The Office fan. So throughout the show, the episode, you'll be hearing a lot of office references from my side. So you can also see my boss is looking at me, just standing right behind me. So I'm really excited to be on the show. So that is his inspiration, Michael Gary Scott, and.
Wow.
And it has been a really interesting past few days in the office over here. I've actually joined as a temp now. So since Ryan has left the organization, so I'm taking his place. Okay, I'm really excited to get going over here.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Wow, what a start to the episode. I mean, Harjot, क्या energetic introduction दिया तूने about the office. So Harjot, you told me that you are a big time Office fan. So what is it that you like about the Office? And if there is one character that you would relate to कि इसको देख के लगता है कि अरे ये तो हरजोत है, तो which is that character?
What do you think? Which character am I? Matlab, what do you think? Isn't that just obvious?
I am confused.
That guy just looking at me. That guy just looking at me. Of course, I'm Michael Gary Scott. Yeah, come on. Like definitely not not very similar to him, but like almost 60-70% we are definitely on the same page. I don't know, like my cousin was also working for Dundam Mifflin a few months back. So the moment he came, Michael Scott got very scared. He actually turned off all the lights, and the office was just huge. They're like, oh my god, someone is going to come. We should not make any noise. Like they actually thought my cousin is he's a terrorist. I don't know if you remember that episode. तेरे को पता रेफरेंस आता है वो पंगड़ी में आता है तो फिर लाइट वाइट सब बंद कर देता है लाइक ओ माय गॉड
IT manager आता है ना उनका
yes IT manager right
why do you like the Office the series so much, like literally obsessed with it?
Yeah, actually if I go to say like I started watching Office just 3 or 4 years back. And that point of time, my timing was not that great because, I just passed out from college. Even I had failed my 5th attempt in IPCC. So I was, definitely going through a very tough time. So that was a period, when I was a bit down and someone actually, recommended that you should definitely try out The Office. And the initial 3 to 4 episodes, I was like, okay, this is not that great. I don't know, what the fuss is all about. Then hit the last episode, and the second season was actually, definitely one of the best series of Office. I mean, that Michael Scott was like definitely one of the best characters I've actually ever seen in any of the shows. Like I've watched a lot of series in my life, be it Hindi or be it English, but this character was something, different altogether. And I could, actually relate to him on quite a few levels as well, that there are times when he feels rejection, but even though he's down, he actually tries to, cheer up the entire room. And I believe that is something which I've been since my,
doing since
I've been
quite a long
yes,
time.
Yeah. You know that, I was actually that kind of a guy in school that I used to argue with teachers a lot. And all the students actually used to get entertained a lot.
Fun fact about Harjot. I have known him since school, and school mein he was the only Sardar in the entire school. Then when we were in JK Shah also he was the only Sardar of of the same age group. And in college, Harjot, college में थे सरदार मीठी बाई में या नहीं थे?
सरदार जी okay well, in college, yeah, I had a couple of Mithi Bhai, yaar, come on. Like 11th and 12th, I was in Khalsa College, okay? Mm-hmm. So definitely, I was actually surrounded by all Sikhs.
Or Parvinder.
Oh my God, just don't get me started on that. Like I could see there's a very cute reception, the moment I entered the office, I could see a very cute reception. I'm just thinking, just 2 to 3 months, and after that I'll convert Pam into Parminder Kaur, and then you'll definitely get to see my gameplay. That movie was actually such a big torture for me the day it released. Matlab, the next 6 months to 1 year, everyone used to call me Parminder, Parminder. I'm like, what the fuss is all about? I had not even seen that movie.
The
After
khichdi.
4 months, I'm like, now I need to see this khichdi. I need to see this khichdi movie. I need to understand what this is about. And oh my god, the satire in that film was just next level.
पूरे
The entire
पूरे
family's
फैमिली
name
का
is
नाम
Parminder.
परविंदर.
Well, I don't know like what to say now. Matlab, yes, I understand it that we have a few selected names, and then many people have that name. Even in my family, my name is Harjot. Even my bhabhi's name is Harjot. Okay, I'm Harjot Singh. She's Harjot Kaur. But that's it. No one else in the family's name Harjot. Okay, we have that much of variety as well now. More type of names are coming out,
Oh my god.
and I
Oh
hope
my
going
god.
down the line, people get more creative with their names. If they don't have to stick with the same names again and again now. So
तो
now
okay,
let's just
okay, on
hope for the
a
best.
honest note, ये जो परमिंदर नाम है वो सरदार जियों में कितना कॉमन है?
In my family, there's no Parminder. I have
Okay.
Rajinder, I have Satinder, I have Jatinder, I have Devinder, I have Parvinder, but I don't have Parminder. And this is actually the name of my father and his siblings. It's Jatinder, Satinder, Devinder, Parvinder, Rajinder. And guess my grandmother's name?
What's her name?
Bhupinder.
Oh, shit.
But that's it. And after that, my family made sure no one else in the family has a name which ends with Dar. Okay, but that's it. Itna
Yeah.
dar aa gaya baad mein. That was the end now. Bus.
I was scrolling through Facebook a while ago, and I
Looking for
came
that
across.
Punjabi name meme theory. That theory one, charts and everything. I know that. You have no idea how many times I've been tagged into that meme thing. Even after 6 years, I've been tagged in that.
Oh
I'm
my
like, oh
god.
my god, I'm never going to move on from that now.
Yeah.
Matlab, to some level, I believe that is a bit stereotypical, but yeah, still that's okay. Not much we can do now. But yeah,
Wow.
always.
Wow, Harjot.
My name is
Just
Harjot Singh, okay, and I believe nowhere I have actually been called by my name. Okay, 60 to 70% of the time, people call me randomly anything. Like in JK Shah, everyone used to call me Paji. Matlab, people didn't even name what my real name is. Random girls are coming up to me and they're like, "Arey Paji, how are you doing? Did you complete that economics homework or something with sir?" I'm like, my name is Harjot Singh, and she's a girl. Matlab, she's calling me Paji. The meaning of Paji in Punjabi is brother.
hmm.
Okay,
तो
I
अच्छा
do
तो थोड़ा
not
लगता है.
want to be anyone's brother. Yes, and I don't even know how that's thick. In 11th and 12th, some maths sir used to call me Arjun Singh, Gurdyal Singh, Kaushal Singh. I'm like, from where is he getting all these names?
गुरुदयाल आई रिमेम्बर कोई तो प्रोफेसर बुलाया था मेरे को याद नहीं है. मनीष
Ashish
सर
sir,
बुलाए. आशीष सर.
Ashish sir. He used to call me anything, matlab, any random name, and he used to just add Singh to his Singh at the end. Like, अरे ये तो अभी बस हो गया.
Oh
But
my god.
it's been really
Uh,
interesting. Now I don't
but in the
like that's
hindsight,
okay now.
in the hindsight, I feel that it really brings out joy and laughter among people. Like जैसे episode start हुआ है, we are just laughing since the past 10 minutes, if I'm not wrong.
I'm just
Uh,
laughing away with my, the pain which I have in my heart. Like, no one calls me by my name, but it's okay. I just laugh it away. I'm all good.
oh, oh my
Well, I'm just
god.
used to it
Huh?
now,
But
but
yeah, I
there are
mean,
times.
hmm.
Sorry, please go ahead.
I mean, yeah, I understand that, I think people call you as a, like, whatever they want to call you, because I think you have quite an approachable face. कि अगर हरजोत को पाजी बुलाया या सरदार बुलाया तो वो ऑफेंड नहीं होगा, वो गुस्सा नहीं होगा. Although I know about the history, but
Approachable face. I only had this face in college and school. There was no other Punjabi guy in the entire school. or beat the entire class. So even if 10 people are doing something, they're making some nuisance, I was the only one who used to get caught. That is a fact, and everyone knows that. But still, I just went along with it. I couldn't do
Oh my
anything.
God.
It was actually, very easy for people to, just look at me because I was the, different,
The
and
only
I was
Sardar in
the,
class.
yeah. So I definitely, I was very easy on that. Like, yeah, bas tu hi hai abhi. Even in college, you won't believe, I was actually nominated as the teacher's ka bakra. Well, I actually got a very good
Teachers का
trophy for
बकरा.
that. Teachers ka bakra. Okay, there were almost 10 to 11 categories, and I won the teachers ka bakra award. Well, even in college, the same thing happened. But yeah,
ये
now
स्कूल
can't
के
just
टाइम
help
पे
it.
आई थिंक स्कूल के टाइम पे जब भी ऐसा होता है जब भी तू बकरा बनता तो वो टाइम पे थोड़ा इट वुड हिट यू हार्ड कि व्हाई इज इट हैपनिंग टू मी ओनली इफ आई एम नॉट रंग वो स्कूल के टाइम पे ऐसा लगता था कि मेरे साथ ऐसा इनजस्टिस क्यों हो रहा है बिकॉज आई हैव सीन दोस इंसिडेंट्स बट व्हेन यू वेंट टू कॉलेज आई थिंक वो टाइम पे तेरा पर्सपेक्टिव मस्ट हैव चेंज किया है मतलब इट्स नॉट ओनली इन द स्कूल मेरे साथ ऐसा हो रहा है मैं जहाँ पे भी जा रहा हूँ वैसा हो रहा है सो आई गेस वो इट्स अ blanket effect of prejudice against Sardars, I would say.
I wouldn't say that. Rather, I would suggest that, I realized after coming to college that no matter what I do, this is who I am. Okay. I am a
सही
Sardar.
बात
So definitely, people actually look at me with that, I actually come easily to the eyes. Matlab, yeah, he's the odd one out over there. Okay. And
हम्म
apart from that, since my childhood, I have been a very notorious kid. Okay, I have been involved in a lot of shit in school, as you might be knowing. Even in college, and I used to, speak to my friends. I used to do some pranks and also teachers. I used to talk a lot. Okay, I never used to pay any attention because BCom, yeah, come on, I'm pursuing CA. Everything is actually covered in CA. So what? So what
मैं क्या
addition are
करूँ
you?
कॉलेज आके राइट
Yeah, that's what. So I used to throw something at someone, play pen fight and all that stuff. So definitely, even then, teachers started, picking up on it. But that's okay. In school, I used to feel very bad. Why am I the only one who's being caught?
who's getting
I
picked
still
on
remember,
right
yeah, we had cameras in the classroom. I'm not sure if you remember. Me and four
हम्म
to five guys, just dancing, and I just told the guy, let's do salsa, Jordan. So me and Jordan were doing salsa, and we're just, dancing near the camera. Everyone was dancing. After 5 minutes, the principal comes into the class. He's like, Harjot, what are you doing? Come over here. Come over here. So brother came on to, he's like, Harjot, come over here. What are you doing? Like, is this some sort of, some party or in a club or what that you're dancing over here? Who was the other guy? And my mom didn't raise no rat. Okay, so I was definitely not going to rat out my brother. So like my friends, I'm like, it was only me. I don't know who that other person was. He just went away, I guess. So because of that, I actually got punished. He actually told me to sit out, stand out for the next class or something. I was really happy that, I had to stand out. I wouldn't be just have to sit over here and, go through that lecture again. But definitely it was a bit weird that so many guys were there, but I was the only one who got punished. So just
हम्म
in school, I used to feel bad, but after college, like, it's okay now. I don't
आफ्टर
feel bad.
कॉलेज
I'm
हाँ
used
वो
to it now. I'm used to it now. Bring it on.
तो अभी भी मतलब व्हेन यू गो टू एनी प्लेस लाइक ऑफिस है या कोई फ्रेंड के पार्टी में चला गया तो आर यू द ओनली सरदार या अभी थोड़े ऐसे सरदार यू कैन सी कि अच्छा मेरे अलावा और भी कोई है
So I was working for ICICI Prudential Asset Management Company. So they are like the third largest AMC in India. Okay, and in my department, we are a team of around 60 or 70, and I was the only Sardar over there. It's like whenever I go to some place, I have a feeling that kuch na kuch okay, someone other is going to leave. And they're like, "Arey bro, what timing? Just 3 or 4 months back, there was some other Sardar guy. He left and then you came. Oh my God, that's timing, huh?
yes
In the
आई
last,
रिमेम्बर जब भी हम लोग 10th में थे 9th या 10th में थे आई
we were
रिमेम्बर
in 10th.
हाँ वो टाइम पे एक नया स्टूडेंट आया था हु वाज अ सरदार हु वाज इन आई गेस 5th और 6th स्टैंडर्ड तो इट वाज
There
ओनली
were
जब
two
भी हम लोग
brothers.
हाँ
Yeah, there were two brothers. One was in first or second, and the other guy was in fourth or fifth.
हाँ
So that
राइट
was in the
राइट
last year.
तो वो भी टाइम पे लास्ट टाइम पे आया
Yeah, it in the apart from that, the 6 or 7 years which I had in France, like I was only Sardar guy. Even in DSC, I was only Sardar guy. So I believe most of,
Damn.
and where I stay, like I don't have any Punjabi friends over here because I stay in Kandivali and I'm surrounded by
भाई
a lot of
गुजरातीस
Gujaratis, Marwadis, Maharashtrians, and I'm all okay with it. It's not that I had that where I need to hang out with some Punjab, but it's okay. I'm actually used to it now, and apart from Punjabis, I've actually hung out with all other, all other religion people. So
Religious
that's
people.
okay. Religious people, and that's good. Yeah, I actually get that exposure as well.
Exposure.
So
सही है.
it's always been fun.
सही है,
Yes.
सही है. आई एम ग्लैड दैट यू टेकिंग इट स्पोर्टिंगली, बिकॉज क्या होता है स्कूल के टाइम पे वी ऑल आर लाइक नाइव एंड स्टूपिड, एंड तो व्हाट एवर हैपेंस वी फील लाइक इट इज द एंड ऑफ द वर्ल्ड, के मेरे साथ ही क्यों हो रहा है करके. बट व्हेन यू गो आउट इन द बिगर वर्ल्ड, लाइक कॉलेज गए या ऑफिस गए, तो दैट इज व्हेन वी रियलाइज के ओ, ये लगता है दिस इज अ वेरी कॉमन प्लेस हैपनिंग, एंड आई डिड नॉट टेक इट पर्सनली.
I will not agree to that.
अच्छा.
The reason being, when I was in school, I actually used to get offended a lot because it's not that
राइट.
people actually took it in a very mockery kind of a like they used to tease me with अरे 12 बज गए and all that stuff. I don't want to get it
क्या
all
12
out.
बज गए?
हाँ, अरे 12 बज गया, अभी पागल होने वाला है ये. Actually, one of the teachers used to taunt me with this line. करती ना सरदारों वाली बात. I mean, all this is very offensive, okay?
This is offensive. Yes,
Yeah,
this is
this is very
offensive. करता रहो.
offensive. That was a bit offensive, but as in when I grew up, I realized now that maturity hit me now that I'm like, yeah, it's okay. Yeah, even if I have some friend and I'm calling him names, so that is okay. Until and unless you're not mocking me or my community people and everything, well, that is
that is
still okay.
that is where
You
it's
want to
crossing the line.
tease me, you want to say anything about me, yeah. I am a sportsman and I can take anything you can just throw it on me. I don't mind doing, but that actually just crosses a line because I don't in my family it's like apart from me it's like you're teasing my family and all our ancestors. So that is something which I believe there's that respect that you should have. But apart from
Yeah.
that, you want to tease me, but then that's all okay.
हाँ, like I am also of the
So
kind के ठीक है, अगर if तेरे बारे में okay we can make fun of you, but at the same time we cannot generalize the entire the community saying के अरे सरदारों वाली बात कर दी, अरे ये तो सरदार है, इसको तो ये तो ऐसी stupid बातें करते रहता है. That is where
why are
it
you
is crossing
smiling?
the line.
Why are you smiling? Why are you smiling? Huh? Why that grin? Huh?
I'm trying to bring out the nuance in this discussion, but yeah, that is true.
No, but that is there, and I believe our parents and the last generation, they are of this view. They actually tease a lot, okay. But in my generation, you and all my class people, they've actually toned it down a bit. Not many people do that, but outside people, I'll give you an example, okay. I'm working for ICICI Prudential, so my work was to go out and meet clients and recommend them mutual funds. So I was just giving an advisory to one of my clients, and we were just talking about what he does and everything. So you might be knowing the farmers' protest is going on. I have no relation to it whatsoever. No one in my family is involved in that. Everyone settled in India, in Mumbai or in US. I don't have anyone, who's like definitely,
nobody,
we are supporting
nobody
them.
in Canada, Harjot. Nobody in Canada.
We'll come to that. Okay. We'll come to that. But yeah, predominantly my family is in Mumbai and US. So I don't have anyone, who's we are supporting them, no doubt, because it's like the protest for something and we are supporting them, no doubt. But I never actually, bought this out with the client. The client comes to me like, अरे हर्षोत यार आप लोग जो ऊपर कर रहे हो ना, मतलब जो दिल्ली में कर रहे हो वो बहुत गलत है यार, मुझे बिल्कुल पसंद नहीं यार, आप लोग ये सब क्यों कर रहे हो? Bro,
out of nowhere,
I'm
out
sitting,
of nowhere.
What's the connection, bro? We are talking about your investments with us. You want to put some money, and where are you going
farmer
now?
protest में चला गया.
Yeah, like bro, you're doing what all you're doing. Although that's not right. Or come on, the government is coming out with such good initiatives. Like you should be supporting. I'm like, I don't know. I'm not involved in that. Like it might be good, it might be bad. Like I don't know. Like I'm neutral in that. But it's like they actually pinpointed me that what you're doing is wrong. This is not the first time this happened. It actually happened 4 to 5 times with me in the office. 4 to 5 times people came up to me and they're like, what you're doing is wrong. And it actually got me thinking, why is everyone telling me that we are doing wrong? Why is not anyone supporting us? That, okay, what you're doing, there might be some, not us, I mean the farmers, okay?
Farmers,
I've always made sure that, I take a neutral stand. I know most of them are Sikh, but that doesn't mean, that my loyalty automatically goes to them. I need to see that what is right and what is wrong. Okay, I know we definitely are of the same religion, but that doesn't mean that, Sikh hai, so I have to support that. Like, I don't agree with that. If they are doing something right, then definitely they have 100% support. But with this thing, with the farmers one, I believe they should be given the benefit of the doubt. The reason being, if you are, bringing out something, you are telling them that, we are making
okay.
We'll
So,
be making your
Harjot,
life,
when you face such incidents, बोला कि अरे तुम लोग जो ये कर रहे हो वो गलत है दिल्ली में ये सब. So what was your response? कि I mean I understand तुझे बहुत awkward लगा ये मेरे को आके क्यों बोल रहा है, but at the same time what did you tell, what did you know, तेरा आंसर क्या था वैसे लोगों को?
See, in office, I just have one rule. First of all, I try to maintain the highest level of professionalism when I'm with a client. Secondly, I don't, say something, which hurts the client. I always try because customer is king. Okay, he's coming to the office. It's my duty that I make sure that he's well treated. So whenever something like this comes my way, so I'm like, yeah, so that is there, but I believe they might be having some. I was definitely very offended when that guy said
Yeah,
me, but
office.
I can't show that. I can't show that because the conversation then goes to some other level, and I don't want to
Correct.
be a part of it. Okay, I am
Correct.
in the workplace. I want to do my work. I want to,
Yeah,
what
grow as a
I need to recommend
professional.
you. Yeah, that's what I don't want to get into all this because then conversation actually gets very ugly then. I will have some points, he might have some points, so the conversation goes, and I don't want that, because of that the company's name gets spoiled.
Correct.
Whatever this is, definitely I don't mind, discussing on them on that. Like I'm all up for discussion, but this is not the place to do it. So I actually try to ignore the thing. Like definitely I'm very offended by that. I even told my boss about it. Like,
Yeah,
"Arey, koi nahi,
even
just
I
ignore it."
felt offended के मतलब तेरे को आके क्यों बोल रहा है, तू थोड़ी किसान है first of all. I mean, I relate to that offense completely because क्या हो गया, I faced a similar issue in the place that which I was where I was interning a month ago. Now what happened is the same thing that I think it is with everyone that when you go to office you just want to work, get your work done and go out of the leave the office time पे. That is सबका common motive I would say when they go to office. So मैं मेरे like colleagues के साथ बात किया, ये किया, मेरे the near जो near circle वाले थे उनके साथ बात किया. But there was this girl, okay, this lady who was born, who was a Pakistani but is raised in London. So what happened is she would call me by not my by name but by my designation. So like, hey intern कैसा है? Although मेरे और उसके नेम में बस एक लेटर का डिफरेंस था. ओके, आई स्वेयर टू गॉड सिर्फ एक लेटर का डिफरेंस है. ओके, दैट टू द लास्ट लेटर ऑफ आवर नेम इज डिफरेंट, बाकी MANA तक सेम है. ठीक है. एंड शी इज कॉलिंग मी, हे इंटर्न, ये इंटर्न काम कर रहा है क्या, हाउ आर यू डूइंग, इंटर्न. तो ठीक है, मतलब शी वाज क्वाइट सीनियर, मे बी 4 to 5 or 6 years senior. ये तक लिया नहीं. Then one day I was at a pantry drinking coffee and she came in and she started giving me some unsolicited advice ke Manan, I think you should find a new place immediately because they are not going to not they should not tell exclusively that they are not going to give you the job and all that, but she was like you need to find new place etc etc. Anyway काफी कम time बचा है. I'm like fine, वहां तक ठीक था. Then next thing she does is she compares me with someone who got recently promoted from intern to a paralegal. Okay, acha, this girl who was there, she was like literally running from one office to another to get work, but you aren't doing. But I understand that because I think that Indians are quite subservient and they don't speak a lot and aisa sab. I'm like, wait a minute. Yeah, what is this judgment about Indians being, all Indians being subservient? All Indians. So that is where I felt offended. I can understand that you are a subservient and you don't talk to people a lot, but you have to be very outgoing and stuff. I'm like, huh. I mean, I did not go further with that discussion, but I had a few things to ask her. Like, where is this coming from? Like, what do you mean by subservient? Like, so मुझे यहाँ पे ऐसा face किया कि this lady is telling
That is
all
also
Indians.
not right. What
That
you
is also
just
not right.
said.
हाँ, कि
That is
Indians
not
के
right.
yes, all Indians are subservient, so I can understand ये वो, they don't talk a lot. Where is this coming from? But मैंने एक कान से निकाल के सुना, but I was quite offended to be honest, and that too from a person who is like neighboring country में, पाकिस्तान से ही है, जहाँ पे cultural difference इतने नहीं है अपने साथ. But ये मतलब ये कैसा stereotype है कि यार all Indians are subservient, उनको बात करने नहीं आती, वो काफी अपने shell में रहते हैं, ऐसा सब बात है. तो ये काफी ऑफेंसिव लगा, बट ठीक है भाई, जिसको जो बोलना है वो बोले यार, अभी और क्या कर सकते हैं, इट्स अ फ्री कंट्री, वो तो है. और
That is
बता.
there, but I have realized that like people actually have a set of stereotypes made against other, be it religion, be it nationality or ethnicity. People have that stereotype, and I believe that if someone is saying telling you something which you find offensive, I believe it's best that you go and confront them. that see, I'm not comfortable with this, just let's just drop this and let's speak about something else. I'm not comfortable with this conversation. Look, I don't know why, but people run away from confrontations. They are very shy of telling no to the other person. I believe that's all cool. Yeah, it's part of life. Like, because the other person, like, I've realized this, okay, that people actually call me Paji, Papaji and all that, saying that Arey, no, it's okay. They don't have a bad intention, but they don't know what I might be going through or what I'm feeling. If I don't like it, unless and until I don't tell them that I'm not comfortable with this, how will they come to know that like, this is something which we shouldn't do and we should just stop this? Because if I was in their shoes and if I could, if I can see someone, is dressed a bit differently than what I am. He has kept his beard, he has long hair, he's wearing a turban, he wears this kada on his hands. So definitely, there's a lot of different things. And I believe, it's always good that you just go and just speak to them honestly. Like, I've actually come across people who actually touch my turban without even asking me. They're like, "Arey, kya hai ye, kya hai ye?" And I get very offended by that. And if in case, like, I understand that you're very, this is very exciting, that, oh my God, what is this? What is wearing? You want to touch it? I can agree. You come and ask me that, is it okay if I can, just touch it and just, see how that is, how do you wear it? Like, you come here, I'm not going to say no. Like, I can understand what you're thinking through, what you're going through. So it's okay, just come down to me, just speak. Like, I'm not going to tell you, you can just, just take it, what this is. So that's all good, yeah. I believe confrontation is something which people should be more comfortable with, because I believe that will actually solve a lot of things and also, avoid the awkwardness which people have between each other if that thing is not cleared out. Yeah.
Right. That's a great take, Harjot. I mean, the way you have changed over the years, I've seen it. It's like you have drastically changed your temperament as well. That's a great thing that you're working on it, man. So Harjot, let's just continue with this on about Sardars and everything. Why I have two questions which I have seen, which is true, and at the same time I want to know the correct answer to it. Number one is why do so many Punjabis go to Canada? Okay, what is it about Canada that you find attractive? And that too only Canada, okay. Like, baki sab countries mein bhi jate, I understand, but Canada is like a destination for you guys, number one. And number two is about your services at Gurudwara. Like, why is the Sardar community so benevolent in terms of their their क्या बोलते हैं जो क्या बोलते हैं लंगर में खाना देते हैं and वो सब करने में
communal service.
Yeah, communal service. So why is it?
Okay, so before I answer this, I just want to clear out that what all I've said, that my family's name is all this rhyming and everything. Well, that was just for humor, okay? I don't expect that people just make fun of it, because I'm pretty sure my cousins might be seeing this, so please don't get offended. Well, this is only in good humor that I've shared that. Okay, coming to your question about Canada, I believe one of the most biggest reason being that is people are very they're very welcoming of us, because in US, if you go to see, we are actually compared with Muslims a lot. Because we keep beard and we wear a turban, and for them it's like jo bhi turban rakha, jo bhi daadi dala, matlab he's a Muslim man, because after 9/11 things have actually gone down the drain. So a lot of Muslims have been targeted, and because of that even Sikhs have to endure a lot in US. Right. After 9/11 there was one guy, a Sikh guy named Balbir Singh Sodi. He actually had a gas station in Texas, if I'm not wrong. He was actually shot dead just a week or two after 9/11 by an ex-army officer of US, saying that he's a Muslim, he's coming to our country, and because of him all this happened. So he gunned him down. And I've been seeing in the past 4 or 5 years as well, Sikhs have actually been at the receiving end of a lot of racism because
is it still prevalent in US, all this kind of racism? Yeah, abhi thoda bahut cool down.
By US there is racism is there in US. If they can if they can be so if they have so much of hatred against blacks and what all they're doing against them, we are from a third country itself, and we also look very different from them. So definitely racism is going to be there in US, I believe, unless and until politicians like Donald Trump hold a very good position. Racism is going to be there, and even now I believe there might be cases. I was just reading some article a few days back that in open, Sikhs, something was done to him which shouldn't have been done. It was very offensive. So that happened in, so I'm not going to go into all that details.
No, but I understood what you're
racism is still there.
referring to.
And Canada is actually very welcoming in that space, and one of the main reasons being it's a very big country. Okay, like Canada is in the top 5 or 6 biggest countries in the world, so they have a lot of space, but the population is not that great over there. So that is the reason they've actually opened their doors that you come to our country and you settle down and you work over here. Because if you go to see US, Indians have a very huge part to play in the development of US. Indians are actually the richest minority group in US. The richest minority group, and their per capita income is actually more than $50,000.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so it's like Indians are doing phenomenally well in US, so that is the reason Canada thought that let's take in the Indians US because of the H1B rules, which and the stringent visa rules which they have done. So Canada actually is taking advantage of that, and we are okay with it. Yeah, you call us over there. We don't mind. We actually want to explore some other countries. That is the reason Canada has been very welcoming. Even the visa rules and the stay back, it is very good, and you don't have to go through a lot of trouble, like be it in UK or Canada, because even in Europe racism is still there. It's still prevalent. Even in Australia is there, but in Canada racism is very less to a very great extent. And even if there is racism, but I don't want that tension in my head that if I'm just walking down the lane, some guy who's angry at some Muslim, he just take out his gun and just shoots me. Because this has actually happened. Yeah, a bartender was actually shot. A taxi driver was actually shot. A few other cases have actually come across that the guy has nothing to do with it, and still he was on the receiving end of it. That fear is still there. So that is the reason I believe Canada has been very welcoming. And you can also see Jagmeet Singh.
Yes.
Sikh guy has actually reached to such a great, such a good position in the Canadian
politics.
Canadian politics. That's a huge thing for any minority group over there. He's actually competing with. He was actually competing with Trudeau. Trudeau actually won again. But so that is a very great feat. And the reason he has reached over there is because people have been supporting him.
Right.
Without any support, he wouldn't have reached where he is.
There. Right.
So this is your Canada one that people are very welcoming.
Just to build on this, I did not know Jagmeet Singh until the last 10 days, I would say. उसका हाँ तो क्या हुआ कि इंस्टाग्राम पे आई वाज स्क्रॉलिंग एंड आई केम अक्रॉस दिस सरदार जी उसका रील था, तो मैं देखा ये कौन है करके, एंड देन आई क्लिक्ड ऑन हिज प्रोफाइल एंड आई रियलाइज ओके ही इज जगमीत सिंह एंड ही इज द प्रेसिडेंट ऑफ एनडीपी पार्टी एंड ही इज द गाय हु वाज कंपीटिंग विद जस्टिन फॉर द प्राइम मिनिस्टरशिप. Oh, so that is when I realized कि okay, Jagmeet Singh करके कोई है, वरना until the few days ago I did not know him. But one thing noticeable, okay, which is so, I don't know, ये किसी ने देखा होगा कि नहीं. If you go to Jagmeet Singh's profile, okay, Instagram profile, usually लोग क्या लिखते हैं, follow, message और email करके. But on his Instagram, he has literally given an option of texting him. He has put his number on it. So if you click on that, button, you can actually send an SMS to him.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, I would love to show you. Dev, can you pull up Jagmeet Singh on Instagram? Just we'll have a look at it. So that was something.
Not many people do that.
Yeah, okay, directly अपने number में number दे दिया.
And you can directly reach out to me if in case you have any.
Yes.
If you are facing any issues. And he was actually having an event with. For some, he had some event for some votes or something. So a white woman actually, entered that event, and she started shouting at Jagmeet that when is the Sharia law going to end? When is your Muslim Brotherhood going to end? I know you're with the Muslim Brotherhood and you're following Sharia. She thought of him as a Muslim, and in front of 200 or 300 people, she actually attacked him. But that guy's response was amazing. He never once said that I'm not a Muslim. Never once he rejected that I'm not a Muslim, you shouldn't be saying all this. Like we love you and we support you. Like we have nothing against you. This hatred, we are not going to let this hatred spoil a positive event. So his response was so amazing. Not once he said that I'm not a Muslim. And I believe that has a very huge impact, because he means to say that no matter what religion I belong to, I might not be a Muslim, but even if he's a Muslim, he shouldn't be at the receiving end of this. Well, not all people of some other religion, I know they are misunderstood a lot, but I don't. But his thing was that no matter what religion you belong to, someone shouldn't be at the receiving end of this. And that woman was like, "You don't touch me, otherwise I will call the police." in the event, all of that was just so embarrassing, but his response was seriously phenomenal.
Really
So I
good.
believe,
So
the guy is
yeah,
actually
we have pulled up the
yes.
Instagram profile of Jagmeet Singh, and yeah, just scroll up, scroll up them. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Linktree, Opa. Click on Linktree. Yeah, see, text me.
Okay.
Here, there you go. And you click on it, click on text me. And the moment you click on it, see his Canadian number appears, and you can directly FaceTime him or send him a iMessage or something like that. So when I saw this, I was like shocked. Oh, he's literally open to like any random person texting. Now I don't know what must be his, you know, what kind of messages he must be receiving, but I hope most of the messages are positive and not death threats or random threats or racism. ऐसा क्यों
You
कर
are
रहा है,
hoping,
whatever.
but what do you think? But the
Yeah,
reality
is that's what I can hope
reality
for.
is a whole different thing altogether.
Yeah, but this
Okay.
really shocked me कि लोग के बंदे ने अपना नंबर ही Instagram पे डाल दिया है करके इतना famous के. But that's a great thing. I mean, I mean respect for this one gesture that he has done. And
It
yeah,
actually
now
even tells a lot about him. That
Yeah,
no matter what you throw at me, I'm okay to take it. You text me whatever you want to, I will be, I will handle it my
maturely.
way. You don't have to worry about it. Yes.
Yeah, that's a great thing. But unfortunately, he lost this time also. But where as far as I saw, meme, not meme, I would say, वो जो news वाले जो pages होते हैं ना Instagram पे. So that was showing के Jagmeet Singh is more popular in terms of that winning वाले race में.
Polls.
Yeah, polls में आगे था, but he did not win unfortunately. But let's see, maybe in the next election or next to next election he can win.
Now let's see. That's something.
Yeah. And
So,
about your communals, yeah, you were continuing something.
Yeah, I was actually coming on that only. The second question.
Communal service.
So actually, our religion is not a very old one. Okay, so it just started 500 or 600 years back. And Guru Nanak Dev Ji, the first guru of us, was actually, I'll just give an incident as to what you mentioned, or the communal one. I'll come to that. So he actually used to work for his sister's husband. Okay, his sister's husband had some trading work, so he had given some money to him. He's like, I need all this material, so go out and you bring that to me. Okay, so I had some money on his hands, Guru Nanak. So he was actually just going to buy that, and he could see there are a few people are just sitting on the road and they're begging for food. They had nothing with them. So what Guru Nanak Dev Ji did was he actually used that money to buy them food instead of getting the material which his brother-in-law had asked. Rather, he spent that money getting food for them. So that is how this langar, the communal service actually came into existence, and this is how actually, what you say, Neve, like the first stone of that our religion came into place because of this act by Guru Nanak. So this is what actually pushed start our new religion and with his new ideologies and everything. So this is how langar and communal service has come into existence. So how this works is when we go to Gurdwara, you put some money in that donation box. That money is then used to buy some groceries and everything. And the food which is being made in Gurdwara, that is made by people like you and me. So there are volunteers who actually volunteer to make the food. There are volunteers who say that okay, we'll serve this to all the people who have actually come down to Gurdwara to have food. So this is where the langar thing has come into existence, and this has actually been prevalent since a very long time now. If you come to a Gurdwara, you will see that everyone is sitting on the ground. No matter how rich you are, no matter how poor you are, you have to sit together with everyone. Gents have a different thing, and girls and ladies actually sit. Well, there are two rows for that. You can sit together, nothing in that, but it's suggested that this is how you sit. And accordingly, volunteers like you and me, anyone can do that. Even if you come to a Gurdwara, you can volunteer to make that food, or you can volunteer that you want to give food and just help him out. So you can do that. And given and there's the thing is, no matter what religion you belong to, you can come to a Gurdwara and you can have a hot
meal,
a plate of food. You can just come over there and you can just enjoy it. Yeah, because food is something which everyone needs. If you don't have food, then definitely you can't go ahead with life. So this is where everything and all this started. And even I believe this is something which has been going on. Like any gurdwara you go to, some gurdwaras have a different thing. Some gurdwaras, like you're supposed to sit down, the volunteer will come and give you food. But in some gurdwaras, there's a buffet system. You go over there and you ask for food. So this is how
Yeah,
it has
yeah.
actually come into existence.
Even in Dubai, there are gurudwaras or gurudwara. I don't know how many are there, but yeah, there are. I've been to when I was in Dubai between 2005 to 2008. That time I had been there because it is next to the temple only. In Dubai, there is a place where there is temple and gurudwara, but there is even a bigger gurudwara in some other place, but I don't recall the surname. So it is so huge that it can serve the all the Punjabis in Dubai, if I'm not wrong. Utna unka bada hai. I mean, in term quantity, I mean, how much they can serve, unka itna capacity hai. So I've heard things about it. I do intend to visit it over here when things, completely open up. But I guess it should be no open. It should open up in some time. But it is
No, I'm experiencing.
Experience. I've been to Golden Temple as well. I really like the vibe, and I don't remember if we had food or not, but we could see the people are making. We could see the people are making the meal, and yeah, it was a great experience when we had been to Golden Temple.
Right.
So Harjot, now we have talked about the community that you belong to, but one thing that I've seen is that you too have transitioned from one career to another. So can you tell me what was the reason for you to change your career to CFA?
Okay, so just a bit of a background about myself. Okay,
Yeah.
after 12th, I did my 12th in commerce, and after that, I definitely wanted to do something in commerce itself. And I spoke to my parents, like, go for CA. Like, I always had a love for mathematics. Okay, math is something which I always loved. So I want to do something related to that because that is somewhere where my strength is, and I find that very exciting. So my mother and my father and a few of my cousins like, go for CA. CA is a very good option, and going ahead, you will earn a lot of money. The degree has a lot of scope. So I gave my CPT. Fortunately, I cleared my CPT, and after CPT, I realized that this is something not for me. I was not happy with auditing. I was not happy with taxation. I don't know if you remember, but in JK Shah, after CPT, there's an early bird batch.
Right.
Before you get your CPT results, you can actually start with your IPCC. Okay, and my mother had enrolled me for that because Sarian was pretty confident. Bacha smart hai, PTI mein hai, very smart. Ho jayega CPT. Go for IPCC. And once I started IPCC, after 2 weeks, okay, I had paid all my fees and everything. I actually went to the counter and I was like, can I get the refund back? I do not want to continue with this. This is actually, just 2 weeks after I started my IPCC, before the CPT results came out. They are like, no, nothing of this sort. We cannot do anything of this sort. Then the result came out, and then I had no other option but to go ahead with IPCC because I had cleared with very good marks. I got around 125 or something. So my mother was like, "Hurry, IPCC, so you will be able to crack it." So I gave IPCC the second attempt. Fortunately, I passed my level 1. But the level 2 was something where I got stuck for a very long time. I actually cleared my level 2 in my 6th attempt.
Okay.
One of the main reasons was I was not very serious about CA. That was not for me because the subjects, like, I didn't have that excitement in me. Oh my God, that, oh shit, today now I'm going to study about taxation. I will get to learn so much that this auditing, this costing and everything. But that excitement was not there in me. So after my 5th attempt, my college had, I was done with my college and I failed my level
Group 2.
Group 2 for the 5th time. So I was like, oh my God, now that I'm done, I don't want to continue with this. Secondly, I watched the movie, which I believe everyone has watched it. The movie
Tamasha.
I believe that.
Oh, 3 Idiots.
What Tamasha? What Tamasha?
Okay, good. Go ahead.
It's a very underrated movie, okay? It's a very underrated movie. People are like, oh my God, it's a very funny movie. Yes, बहुत मजा आया. Amir Khan has done brilliant acting, but they actually never thought of it. कि movie में है क्या? The movie actually has a line, और success के पीछे मत भागो, intelligence के पीछे भागो. Do something in which you have your passion in. If you do that, then definitely, whatever you do, you'll be very successful in it. That is what we saw with Farhan as well. He wanted to get into something else, but his parents told him that he do something else. So he actually got stuck in that. He didn't have that much of, but I realized that no, this is something which I don't want to do. I do not care about the money. I'm not comfortable with this. And I don't remember, I don't know if you remember, but in 3 Idiots, there was one scene wherein Virus tells Rancho that tum class ko padhao. Let's see how you teach your students. So Rancho is like, he gives a question, they are not able to solve it. And Rancho says, कभी किसने बैठ के सोचा कि अभी मैं आज कुछ नया सीखने वाला हूँ, मतलब किसमें एक्साइटमेंट है कुछ पढ़ने का, मतलब that what you are going to learn, that excitement is something which I thought is missing in my life, and CA was not something which I was very excited for. And I realized this, that CA portion and everything, that is not for me. So this was one hint for me. Second one was that I failed my level 2 for the 5th time, group 2 for the 5th time. And the third one was I read a book, Rich Dad Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. And that book was actually a turning point in my life. The book was so brilliant. I then realized that I'm actually in the rat race. Everyone wants to do CA. I have nothing against the degree, or I have nothing against the people who are doing that. I have huge respect for people who are still pursuing that, but I realized that is something which is not for me. I'm not very comfortable doing that. And that book actually, just opened my eyes to a whole other lot of things, like be it sales, be it finance, be it real estate. So that book actually gave me a lot of exposure. So that is when I realized that finance is something which I can, still relate to. This is something which I find very interesting. So after that, I read a book by Parag Parekh, Stocks to Riches. That is a very brilliant book for any finance enthusiast who wants to get into this field. And after that was Bulls, Bears, and Other Peace. So even that is on the Indian stock market. I read these 3 books and I was so intrigued by the financial markets in India that I decided that I don't want to do CA. Rather, I would go for something of a CFA, which is more into the financial sector, whether where I can get more knowledge on the startups and on the stock market companies of India. So that is where I decided that it's time for me to switch. And it was a very difficult decision for me, because after failing for the 5th time, I actually decided that I'm not going to leave my IPCC just like that. I want to clear this out, because my parents have actually, put so much of money in it. I was like, I want to clear my IPCC. And in the 6th attempt, I cleared my IPCC. But the main difference in that was I was very motivated in life. I was like, no, now I have to do something, because everyone's doing something. Everyone's becoming CA. They have their final CA attempt. Someone is going into law, and I'm just sitting at home reading books. And in that exam, the passing is 150. You just need 150 out of 300 to pass. And the last 3 attempts I had failed in group 2. But in this attempt, I actually scored exemption in 2 of the subjects, and I got a score of about 185. So that was a big score for me. Oh my God, what has this happened now? So, but I believe the main difference was I was very motivated in life, and you need to have that positive mentality with yourself, when you're doing something like this. I know there's going to be a lot of peer pressure, that's everyone's doing that, but I believe if in case you don't have a passion for something, it's good that, you move on from that. You suck it up and you move on. Acceptance is something which you have to do in your life. I believe the same goes for you. I still remember you had come to my place and you were having a discussion that CA is actually, it's playing a toll on us. We are not able to cope up with all that. And that is when we would decide that it's time that we move on for that, because we didn't have that inclination towards CA. And definitely that is when I decided that CFA is something which I should go for. That is a very interesting. And even now, whenever I open a CFA book, I'm not at all bored. Like, because the subjects are so interesting for me. The material is so interesting for me. I have also been in the markets for such a long time. So I believe I have taken a good call. Definitely, I have friends who have actually become CA and they're doing really good. But it's okay. I might be a bit behind them, because my exams have actually been delayed in the last 2 years. I'm a level 2 candidate now. So next month I'll be appearing for that. So, but let's hope for the best now.
No, I guess this thing is people moving at their own pace. People moving at their own pace. See, we just like, when we are in 11th and 12th and everything, I mean, all of us are just looking up to each other for competition. We aren't looking up to something which is already, successful, I would say, but we are always competing with the peers. So that is why what everyone is doing, we feel inclined to do that. कि अच्छा सब CA कर रहे हैं, अगर CA बन गया तो मैं भी अच्छा इतना कमा लूंगा, ये करूंगा, वो करूंगा. But again, people have different temperaments. They have different approach to everything. And sometimes even if you clear a degree, your temperament does not allow you to, go ahead with the career. Okay, I mean, you must have also seen people who have already cleared CA, but they aren't doing the typical CA job के audit tax कर रहे हैं. They are into, I don't know, some कोई content creation में या कोई कुछ startup अलग से कर दिया है या you know, it's a totally different field, but not CA related stuff. Yes, sir.
You see the same with engineers as well. They
Yeah.
pass, you know, they complete
Dude,
engineering.
legit,
I've
so
actually
many
seen a lot of
stand-up
top
comedians.
management.
Stand-up comedians mein who has the highest representation? Engineers have the highest representation in the stand-up comedy.
That's it.
It's a funny
You have that pressure from your family and everyone, and you don't have that many options in your life. You don't know, you know, what is something which I might be, you know, wherein I have my strengths, and something which I might be good at. Because after 12th, you are very naive. You're just looking at life. You're just, you know, trying to see where you stand in your life. घर में अलग ड्रामा होता है, in college you have some other drama that you know with your friends and
वो
everything.
टाइम पे कुछ bullying कोई कर रहा है, somebody is picking on you, these are different kind of problem. किसी का कोई heart break हो गया, किसी का कोई friend zone हो गया, ये सब तो चलते रहता है.
Yeah, so you have that teenage drama over there, and I believe everyone needs to go at their own pace. Somewhere down the line, you'll realize if this is something for you or not. I've actually come across a lot of people who are like, no, we want to do CA only for the degree. But after that, we will look at something else wherein my interest lies. That is like my backup plan. If you keep that in mind, that I already have a backup plan to fall out on, your primary and the first thing wherein your whole attention should be there, you are actually not able to give that. There's one series, Aspirants, there's a series on aspirants wherein there are a few students who are appearing for the UPSC. So in that, there's a line I don't want any backup because this is my first preference. This is what I want to do, no matter what is it. Okay, no matter where my life takes me, but this is something which I want to do. Same with my office. Like when I was leaving, the boss is like, "Arey, why you want to leave? What if you fail your CA or your CFA? Then you won't have a job. You won't even complete your salary." That is not an option for me. I don't care. Even if I fail it, I'll sit at home for 4 months, and after 6 months, I'll reappear for my exam again. But no matter what happens, I'm going to complete my CFA. I do not have any backup, and I don't want any backup. Because if you have that backup in your mind, then you'll be like, you know, you won't be able to give 100%. You'll be like, I have a backup to fall back on. People might not agree with me on this. Sabka sachai ka alagi definition hota hai. Everyone has their own version of truth. But this is something which has motivated me, and I believe that is something which I want in my, that is the mindset which I want in my life. And I believe that has actually worked out pretty well. So,
this is also like a commonplace scenario, kya hota hai when I have also cleared my group 1, okay, and I started my articleship in a firm, and 2 महीने वहाँ पे काम किया, and I realized that the work is boring for me. Like I was confident कि मेरे से degree हो जाएगा, okay, but I wasn't confident कि ये जो काम जो इनमें करते हैं ये लोग ये मेरे से होगा, because that was too monotonous for me. And 2 months down the line, I quit my articleship. I gave them the resignation, क्या बोलते हैं, termination letter, and things ended over there. What happened is a few months later, my dad had some work with that CA where I was doing my articleship for some purpose. And after the meeting ended, the managing director and the managing partner of the firm told my dad, Mr. Dhiren, can I tell you something? So he's like, my dad, okay, like, tell me. So he's like, I think your son took a impulsive decision of terminating his articleship. So my dad is like, okay, he did not, he is not very much involved in the studies as well. So he was like, okay. Then he comes home and tell me, Manan, this managing partner told me that you like impulsive decision le liya. That too when I just started doing law. It was in November or December of 2018. So I was like, oh, okay, okay, I get it. Maybe at the end of 3 years where I'm graduated or as a lawyer, maybe then we can, evaluate this discussion that whether the decision was impulsive or not. But yeah, today I am a lawyer. I am starting a job on Sunday, that is tomorrow. And international career with an Indian law degree.
Oh, Dubai mein kya baat hai? In Mumbai, that you should actually send him an email. Sir, I have actually become a lawyer in Dubai. In case you need any help with anything, if in case you are able to come to Dubai,
Let me
reach
know.
out to me. I know I was not able to do CA, and you actually told a lot of things to my
Right.
father. We are very, looking forward to meeting you. बोले, "ऐसा
And
भी
see
करने का
why,
थोड़ा फिर."
see the thing
मतलब he
is
had no
क्या,
right to say that. मतलब
yeah, he
that
had
is
no
your
right to
fault, yeah.
say
At
that.
the end of
Yeah.
the day, that is what यार दोनों काम है क्या ना.
Like I would see, I'll tell you the scene over, why this is a very exceptional thing to do. क्या होता है in Dubai, okay, if you want to work as a lawyer, people have a preference for the people who have law degree from London, I mean UK University or US University. So it is like really difficult to become an employee as a lawyer in Dubai, okay. Yet I see right now I don't have a UK degree, I have an Indian degree. So that is quite an exceptional thing for me कि मैं Indian law degree के साथ यहाँ पे का मेरा career start करने वाला हूँ. If I would just be starting out in India, I would still be like, okay, मैं lawyer तो बन गया, but this is like the cherry on the top of the cake के Indian law degree की, okay, India से की, but मैं काम तो अभी international career में करने जा रहा हूँ. That too at a place where people are just recruiting people with UK and US degree. So yeah, this is how things turn out to be, man. I mean, I did not know that I would start my career in Dubai. I was always of the fact कि अच्छा इंडिया में career करेंगे, but things turned out to be, I would say stars aligned and things happen. तो ऐसे हो गया ये सब. Let's
That's
say,
good, yeah. Things actually fall into place.
yep.
It's just that, you need to take that step, and taking that step actually, takes up a lot of effort of yours.
Hmm.
You actually have to go through a lot, what your friends are saying, what your family is saying. Like for me, it was definitely pressure as well, because I've completed my IPCC, that too with exemption in 2 subjects. My family is like, CA ho jayega.
CA ho jayega.
Why are you living like that? Like, why do something wherein I know that I won't be a good CA. मतलब in Lakshya, there is one line, okay, Lakshya movie by Hrithik Roshan. Like, अगर तुम माली भी बन रहे हो ना, make sure कि तुम ऐसा माली बनो कि लोग तुम्हारे पास ही है अगर झाड़ कुछ काटना होगा. Like that line actually struck me hard. It's like no matter what you do, you will actually make money in all the professions, provided you are actually the best in that profession.
Good at it.
Just don't think that I want to go into profession just because I'll earn a lot of money in that. I think people in most of the professions, they make money if they are the best at it. Just tell me one profession in which I'm, wherein a person is the best at it and is not earning money. Even artists are earning money. Even this crypto people are just coming into it. Even crypto people are earning money. You look at the education of most, many of the billionaires. They don't have that much of education, but still, they are earning money. So it's not that you do a degree only for money. You look at your father and your, your ancestors. Everyone had a business of theirs. My father has a business, even his brothers, everyone had a business of their own. But this generation is something wherein you're doing jobs. You don't want to start your own company. Why is that? Because now it's the norm that why open a new business, why take that much of risk, job
Right.
of and for that degree is important. So because of that, people actually run behind degrees that now, and that is also one of the reasons why I am doing CFA. Okay, because I need a degree to get into that industry, and I agree to that. But in case you have decided that even after getting CA, the work which you'll be doing, you're not happy with it, so why get into it? Is what my ideology was before I dropped CFA. So after that, I'm also looking at other alternatives like CAI and FRM, which is also related to CA. And you actually come across something here. You get that calling in your life.
Yeah, I mean, you always get a calling, man. That's true. So, Arjun, now you are working in the mutual fund industry, right? Or you have worked in the
I
mutual
was
fund.
working.
Yeah, you were working in the mutual fund industry. What is it about mutual funds as an industry, and why should people invest in the mutual funds as one of the form of investments, not complete investment, as one of the form of investments?
So mutual fund industry in India, I believe it's in a very interesting point at currently this juncture, because the last 1 year, because of COVID and everything, a lot of things have changed. So currently in India, I believe hardly 1 or 2% of the entire population of India might be investing in mutual funds. To just give you a brief number, the population of India is around 135 crores, something, 130 or 135 crores approximately, and out of that, only 3.5% to 4% population invests in stock market. Okay, only around 3.5 to 4%. So that comes to around 3-4 crores, around that number, if I'm not wrong. Okay, and out of that, only 2% of the population, 1 or 2% of the population invests in mutual funds. which is still less
Oh,
than the number of people who invest in stock market. So one
right.
of the main reason being is your ancestors, like your mom, dad, your father, or your forefathers, they actually preferred investing in real assets. Real
Hmm.
assets, something like real estate, be it gold. So that was
Hmm.
their first preference. Even now, if you go to see, I'm pretty sure your mother might have a locker, and in that
Hmm.
locker there's a lot of gold put into it. They'll be like, "Teri shaadi ke time, we'll give this to your wife." This is
Hmm.
kept only for your wife. Okay, आधा जाएगा मनन को, आधा जाएगा देव को. Okay. जो जो ज्यादा कमाएगा उसको ज्यादा मिलेगा because it's the favorite child of the parents. Okay. So because even historically, gold's value has always been there.
Hmm.
Gold is actually considered as a hedge for inflation. If inflation is going up by 6-7%, even gold historically has gone up by 6-7%. So your purchasing power is in place. You don't lose money in that. What is inflation is mengai. In the sense, if suppose 4 years back a chocolate was available at 100 rupees, but 4 years down the line now it's available at 140. So it's like for the same thing you are actually taking out more money and you're paying more for that. So that is known as inflation. And gold is something which historically it has actually increased with the inflation. It has actually been in lines with that. So that is why people have preferred investing in gold. But in the past few years, real estate as a sector has not done that great. People previously used to invest in real estate, because in 5, 6, 7 years the investment actually used to get doubled. There were times actually wherein in 10 or 15 years, if suppose you have invested 100 rupees in real estate, it actually turned to rupees 300. So that was a very phenomenal returns, which previously our forefathers had made. But currently we are in a very different scenario. And stock market, people used to think like, it's very risky. We
Risky,
don't know,
right.
if we put our money, then what will happen. But that only happens when you're investing in such companies which don't have that much of scope. Anyone who had invested in companies like Reliance, Infosys, Wipro, or the big companies have actually made tons of money. Can you just guess the company which has actually made the most returns in the past 10, 15 years? Can you actually just name that company? Just even guess it, which company it might be.
No, no idea.
3 companies have actually made most of the returns. One is Infosys, one is HDFC Bank, and I believe the third one is HDFC. So these 3 companies have actually made more than 25% returns in the past 10 or 15 years. More than
Wow.
25%. People are like, if you invest in small cap, only that is when you will earn a lot of money. That is not the case. Even if you consider, sitting with some good companies, then you can definitely, expect good returns which can be made. Real estate historically it has given around 10, 11, 12% returns. But now I don't think that same might continue going ahead. The past 5, 6 years, real estate as a segment has not done that great. Okay, I'm going to too much technicals. Coming back to mutual fund and its scope in India, I believe now people are getting more attracted towards mutual funds as an alternative to stock market. The last 1 year, if you have invested in any of the stocks in the market, you have made money. तुम पत्थर उठा के कोई भी स्टॉक पे फेंकोगे, that stock has actually made money for you, be it IPO, be it any old age company, be it any new tech company, everything has made money. So the new generation is getting more, they're getting this
Motivated.
exposure. Yeah, because even in stock market you don't need too much of money, to invest, because in real estate you need money in lakhs and crores. But in stock market you can open a demat account with 500 or 1,000 rupees and you can just get started. So because of that, and also because of COVID, people who had invested after March 2020, they have actually made huge amount of money. People who didn't even have any knowledge, even they are getting into the stock markets and investing, and they are now considering mutual fund as well. In case they are not very comfortable investing in stock market on their own. So how mutual fund works is, I am a fund manager. Okay, I take 100 rupees or 1,000 rupees or whatever amount from 1,000, 2,000 or 5,000 people. Thoda thoda karke they give me money. I take that money and I invest in stocks on their behalf. I have a good experience. I am well known in the market. I know all the stocks. I can take an educated guess that this stock will do good in the coming years. So that is how mutual fund works. You don't have to, you don't have to worry like in which stock I will invest my money. What is the stock price? The fund manager takes all that responsibility, and against it he charges you an expense ratio. So that is how mutual fund works. You give money to the fund manager and the fund manager takes a call. And most of the mutual funds, they actually have a mandate that it's a large cap, small cap, mid cap, or it's a theme, something like a value theme or a growth theme, momentum theme. So there are a lot of things in the market, and as per one's needs, they consider, going for any scheme. And I believe in the past 1 to 2 years, people have actually started looking at this segment now. They've actually started looking at mutual fund as an alternative, as a means of investing now, because in FDs hardly you're running around 5.5% interest rates have come down drastically in the past 1 year. So that gives you only one option wherein you can earn money. One is definitely stock market and one is real estate. But in real estate, you need huge amount of money. So that is where stock market mutual fund comes into the picture. You can actually even start investing with 100 rupees in mutual funds, which is like a no-brainer. Even if you go with that, why not go for that? Like, you don't need huge amount of money. Even if you're earning 10-15,000, just a minimal 2 or 3,000 every month, you can consider putting it in mutual fund and get started. So I believe the coming 10, 15, 20 years, mutual funds and stock market in India is in a very good position, primarily because of COVID. In COVID, people have actually started looking at this alternative. More demat accounts have started, being opened in India. Zerodha, for example, it took almost 10 years for them to open around 1 or 2 crore demat account, and they actually doubled that in the past 1 year.
Wow, what a stat.
Yeah. So in the last 1 year, they've actually doubled it, which is a huge thing. And the second thing, if you go to see, these brokers are actually, making tons of money because people are investing. They make money. They sell it, then they buy something else, and it goes on and on. So brokers are running money, and even the investors are making money because currently we are in a bull run. So every other day, stock market goes up, people earn money, they're happy, they invest more money in the market. So this is how everything works. So I believe the next few years, mutual fund industry is in a very good position.
Wow. So how does CFA, the curriculum, help you to understand shares and the mutual funds? Like, are there any particular subjects, or is the entire curriculum that helps?
See, I wouldn't suggest that in CFA there's one subject which is, predominantly for mutual funds. The subject which you have, it's for, valuation of stocks, valuation of fixed income, and how a portfolio should be made. Okay. But in mutual fund, what my work was, recommending funds based on one's needs and preferences. But CFA, what it does is it helps you become a fund manager. That is, suppose people are giving me money, I get the idea as to how to fairly value a stock. If the stock is fairly valued, if the stock can go up, if the stock can make money for my investors. So we have subjects like fixed income. Not fixed income. We have subjects like equity, wherein they give you a holistic view on how to value equities. You are given a lot of methods on valuing equities. Then you have portfolio management. You have corporate finance. Corporate finance actually tells you about the policies which a company follows and how it might impact the stock price. You have portfolio management, suggesting that what all risk measurement techniques you need to look into before making a portfolio. And even mutual funds are of 2 to 3 types. One is equity mutual fund, one is debt mutual fund, and one is hybrid, which is a mixture of both equity and debt. I believe not many people might be knowing about debt mutual funds. I'll just give a idea as to
because I think you are quite in favor of the debt mutual funds.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm a very big advocate on debt funds. I don't love. Why is that? I'll come to it in a second.
Yeah.
Let's just take an example. I want to open a company. I need 200 rupees. I have 100 rupees. I need 100 rupees more. So that 100 rupees, I can take a loan from you. I can say you give me 100 rupees. On that, I will pay you 5% interest. Okay. So that is like you're giving me a loan. I'm investing in the company. I open a company 200 rupees. After 1 year, that 200 I'm able to come up with a profit of 10%. So at the end of the day, my capital is 220. So on that, I give you an interest back of 5 rupees. So still I have 15 rupees profit with me. Out of 20, I paid you 5 rupees. I have 15 rupees. So no matter how much profit I make, how much loss I make, it's sure that you will get your interest. And after the maturity of 3 or 4 years, I will pay you back your principal. So your money is safe. You don't have much risk in it. But if suppose I can also go an alternative way, that I tell ki I need 100 rupees, why don't you become a partner with me? 50-50%. If we make any profit, then 50% profit yours. I make the remaining 50%. So that 200 rupees, you give me 100 rupees. So we come up with the capital of 200 rupees. After 1 year, we make a profit of 10%, 20 rupees profit. So that 20 rupees profit is divided between you and me, or 10 rupees. But after 2 years, if suppose that 220 became 180. So we have a loss of 40 rupees. So even that is divided between you and me. Okay. Right. So it's like jiyenge saath mein, marenge saath mein. So that is what equity is all about. But in debt is like, I give you the money, no matter whatever happens, I'm going to get my money back, and that
Right.
fixed return is there.
So what is like
equity
a average return on the debt debt related mutual fund? Like 6 to 7%, 10 to 12%. What is
that actually depends upon the type of debt fund you invest in. There are a few
Hmm.
debt funds which invest in very safer assets, in very safer companies. Suppose like they invest in government bonds, or they invest in very AAA rated high quality companies like Reliance, HDFC Bank, which you know that no matter what happens, these companies are not going to default, or they are not going to go under in the next 2 or 3 years. Okay, so your money is safe. But there are a few debt funds which invest in some lower quality companies, wherein you get higher return on that. Something like, A-rated or AA rated companies, in that you get a higher return. Okay, so in debt historically, the return has been 1 or 2% more than what your FDs make return for you. If suppose your FD is giving you 6% return, in debt fund you can expect around 7 or 8% return. Okay, and one huge benefit of investing in debt fund is after 3 years you get a benefit of indexation. So indexation is like 20%, and whatever inflation. Suppose today I invest 100 rupees. After 3 years, that 100 rupees is now 130 rupees. So 30 rupees is my profit. In that same period, inflation has gone up by 6% compounded. Okay, so let's suppose today 100 rupees value after 3 years is around 115. So that 15 rupees deduction I will get on the profit which I make. So I don't have to pay tax on 30 rupees. I will have to pay tax on 15 rupees. That 15 rupees is the inflation. So that will get deducted from the profit. So I will pay less tax in debt funds. But in FDs, no matter how much money you make, you have to pay tax on it as per your income tax slab. So I know this is a bit of a technical term.
technical, yeah. But let's
good.
not dig very deep into the technicalities. But what I can see is how, if I'm not wrong, you have worked nearly 1.5 to 2 years in the mutual fund industry, right? But
Right.
you are quite enthusiastic, and you do trust this industry of mutual fund a lot, and it's quite convincing as well to see that you have learned about the industry so much in such a short time.
That is there. If you have an interest in something, people don't have to come down to you and say, "Arey, ye pad le, study this, study this." It's like the moment you wake up, I'm like, oh my God, today I should open money control. I should open Bloomberg. I will get to learn something new, because this finance as a field is so huge. Every day you get to learn something or something or the other. Like when I started with ICICI, I actually, got a lot of exposure towards the economy, how the RBI's policy impacts mutual funds and all the stocks. And just 3 or 4 months back, I came across a VC, venture capital blogger, named as Aviral Bhatnagar. He actually writes on startups in India. So even
I also follow.
Aviral Bhatnagar.
Yeah, he's done his engineering from IIT Bombay and MBA from IIM Ahmedabad.
Right. Currently, he's working for VC, Highway VC, or some company, but his articles are so phenomenal. Yeah, he actually writes articles on most of the startups, like on Off Business, Postman, Boards. So Boards was the first article which I read, and I was so, just shocked to see, and I got to learn so much new about the venture capital space, that after that I started following other bloggers, and this is a new industry, which actually opened right in front of me. And after that, even this is an industry which I've been following. Like, finance is very huge if you go to see. You have mutual funds, you have private equity, you have investment banking, you have venture capital. It's not that you are just focused or concentrated in just one industry itself. You have a huge plethora of options right in front of you, be it in India or even if you want to go abroad, because CFA is a globally recognized degree. So no matter wherever you go, you get that exposure, and it's very well respected all around the world. Yes. And I believe, coming back to mutual funds, I believe the current generation of ours is like, they don't want to hold a stock for a very long period of time. They're like, abhi profit bana liya, now is the time to just book your profits and just move on with their life. I believe this is a wrong approach. Like, as Warren Buffett says, once you invest in a stock, just let it be, play for the long run. It's like because what happens is, there are some different points of time wherein you don't earn money, but if you stay invested for the long run, no matter wherever you have invested in, you make good money. Because I still remember when I started with ICICI, you had some investments, and you actually came down to me like, Harjot, I'm not able to make good money in this. What do you suggest I should do? I'm like, how long have you been invested? So like just been 6 months, 1 year or 2 years. I like just stay invested, continue your SIP, just let it be how it is. I'm pretty sure you'll make money. That was in 2019. And if you have still continued with that investment, I'm pretty sure you're easily sitting on 30, 40, 50% of returns.
Yeah, I have continued it. Yeah.
Yeah. So that is what like people actually need some support from that side as well, to let them know. Because once if you see that, array, ek saal ho gaya, I'm not making much money, they're like, no, this fund is not useful. Now I should look at some other fund. This fund is making good returns for me, so I should go for this fund. And I believe that is not the right approach. In case one is not comfortable, looking at, as to what is happening in the market, go for an advisor. He might help you in your initial years, but accordingly, you will get an idea. Because what happens is, suppose for an example, I get a salary of 20,000. Okay. If I don't save that money, if I don't invest in any FD or mutual fund, I will actually, spend that money, on buying some clothes or any depreciable assets. I don't have any appreciating asset. Appreciating in the sense, if suppose I invest 100 rupees in that, my money is going up.
Right.
So for that, I believe one needs to invest in such appreciating assets, something like mutual fund and stocks, which in the long run, definitely they make good returns for you. Be it gold, but gold also is something which can be considered. But real estate is something which you'll have to wait for a bit. But stock market is something, even if you're invested for 5, 7, 8 years, at least 10%, 8 to 10%. I'm not giving a amount that this is something which you'll make, but this is something which you can expect. But at least your money is there and you're actually making a corpus for yourself. So somewhere down the line, you need some money for medical emergency or anything. You have that money to fall back on. So I believe that is something which everyone should follow. Instead of FDs, look at alternatives like stock market or mutual funds. You will definitely get a lot of, opportunities in that as well.
Wow. I mean, you're very you're passionate about this industry. I can really see that. I mean, you explain it so well and you break it down and you put it in simple terms that, people can understand what you're trying to say. Let alone the, technicalities of tax slabs and everything.
But tax because you asked me about debt funds, debt funds, the taxation part is a very
important part, right?
Yeah, and if you had come down to me 4 years back asking me for anything about taxation or costing or auditing, I had no clue. I don't even know. I was actually doing articleship for 1.5 years. I don't know how that guy even hired me. I didn't even know what is the difference between statutory audit and internal audit. I didn't even know the difference there. I actually came to know about this when I cleared my IPCC, just 6 months back, I came to know what statutory and this internal audit differences. I had no clue. I'm not even interested. That was like, but it's still
lovely.
Now what to say?
I like the honesty.
I wake up.
I like your honesty. अरे उसे मुझे hire भी क्यों किया था?
Like what? That's still cool, yeah. But now every day I wake up, I need the newspaper. My mom knows Harjot is going to wake up. He will read the news. He needs that. I read Mint, so the paper is already there at the position. No matter what day it is, the paper is always there because now I'm habituated to it. Because I get to learn so many new things on a daily basis, be it politics or be it about the economy. And I believe every day you wake up, you have that opportunity to learn something new. You just have to be very curious in life and, not just be ki nahi mere ko sab aata hai. If that is your mindset, then I believe you won't grow in life.
Right.
If you are actually becoming good in something, I believe you need to take that other step. You need to come out of your comfort zone and take that next step.
That's a great message, Harjot. That's a great message. I mean, another one thing I've noticed is you are really a passionate guy about anything that you want to do. I mean, you don't just channelize your passion towards the things you're not interested in. But it's been really great talking to you, Harjot, man, and catching up with you after a long time, learning about the mutual funds and the office and your own community as a whole. And about the secret of why Punjabis go to Canada a lot. I
believe you knew the answer.
No. Listen, no. I'll be honest. I see. I only have the questions, okay? Because I want to know the things that why are the things that are happening which are happening. Digging the answers, is obviously if I dig the answers, I might have a personal bias towards ke, array, maybe there is a possibility ke, XYZ the reason can be. So it can be a biased opinion, but to come from a person who has experienced such a thing and then to get the answer, it's a different answer at completely. So I did not know the answers, but I had the questions, so I asked and I have my answers today, man. I'm glad you came today, and it was a pleasure talking to you.
Sure, thanks, Baran. Pleasure being a part of your channel. Like, is definitely something new which I've tried. Even I was a bit hesitant, before coming to the channel. Like, what will I talk about? Like, why is he calling me on the show? I had a lot of questions in my head, so that is the reason I was trying to, yeah, we'll do it some other day. Yeah, we'll do it. But then I decided that no, like, why not just go for it? Like, my friend has actually come up with, is doing something new, and I realized that this is something, where everyone is just sharing their journey of life. Like, we are not experts in the field which we are in, but maybe somewhere someone might be relating with us. Even that person is going through the same thing. If he hears what we have to share, then definitely he might be a bit motivated that no, I'm not alone. I have someone who has been through the same journey as with me as well, like similar to mine. So definitely I can get some insight as to what happened, how they went about with their life. So I decided that why not just go for it. And I believe this today has really been exciting for me, and it was really a pleasure being in contact, being a part of this. Sorry, like this was just being in contact. Like after the call ends with my client, so this is how I usually end the call. Thank you for connecting with me. It was a pleasure being in contact with you. So now whenever I'm speaking to anyone, I'm like, "Arey, hi, Harjot Singh calling you from ICICI Prudential." Like, oh my god, this is like just on my lips now.
Oh my god. Yeah, but that is exactly the relatability that I'm trying to bring. The reason why I intend to bring such a huge and a diverse crowd on the platform is this only because, see, kya hota hai, I believe that you also must have noticed a few people have started their own podcast. Okay. But the thing that they are doing is that they are only focusing on their own fraternity members. Like अगर कोई CA podcast कर रहा है तो वो सिर्फ CA को बुला रहा है. कोई लॉयर अगर पॉडकास्ट कर रहा है तो सिर्फ लॉयर्स को बुला रहा है. कोई XYZ बंदा कर रहा है तो सिर्फ वही वाले. सो इट काइंड ऑफ गेट्स वेरी मोनोटोनस के तुम्हारा कितना लॉन्ग टर्म चलेगा विद द सेम क्राउड. But my intention is to bring everything on one platform. So that is why you see the variety as well. आज तेरे साथ बात कर रहा हूँ who is जो म्यूचुअल फंड में मेरे हिसाब से is an expert. I know you are a very new to the industry, but for me you are the person to go to. Okay, mutual fund के बारे में advice लेना है तो किससे लो? Previous week, if you see, I had talked about investment banking and portfolio management and stuff. A few episodes before you see, we had talked about MMA. Then the next episode, if you will see, that will be about cars and watches and brands and stuff like that. So yeah, that's been the relatability is the platform, and I mean, it's a pleasure to have you again, man. Chalo, I'm stopping the recording now.